He was a being so powerful that kings call on him only when the entire kingdom is about to collapse. Now imagine fighting monsters, demons, invading armies, and then one day discovering the warrior you just killed was your own son. This is the story of Rostam, the most legendary warrior in Persian mythology. A man so strong that when ancient Persia needed saving, they didn't call an army, they called one guy. But here's the twist. His greatest victory became the most devastating tragedy in Persian epic history. And by the end of this video, you'll see how a single duel created one of the most famous, tragic moments ever written in world literature. Our story begins thousands of years ago in ancient Persia, preserved in the epic poem Shahnameh, written by the poet Ferdowsi, and completed around 1010 CE. The Shahnameh, meaning Book of Kings, contains nearly 50,000 lines of poetry, making it one of the longest epic poems ever written. And right in the middle of that epic stands its greatest hero, Rostam. But even Rostam's birth was insane. His father was Zal, a legendary warrior born with white hair and raised by the mythical bird Simurgh. When Rostam's mother Rudabar went into labour, the baby was so massive she couldn't give birth. So the Simurgh instructed Zal to perform what many scholars describe as one of the earliest literary descriptions of a caesarean birth. The baby survived. The mother survived. And the newborn? Already gigantic, already powerful, already destined to become Persia's ultimate champion. Rostam grew up in the region of Sistan, in eastern Iran and Afghanistan, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already doing things normal warriors couldn't. He tamed a legendary warhorse named Raksh, a horse so powerful it could fight lions. Yes, fight lions. According to the Shahnameh, Raksh once killed a lion while Rostam was asleep. But Rostam's true job was much bigger. Whenever Persian kings faced catastrophe, they called him. And one of the biggest catastrophes in Persian legend came during the reign of Kavus, around the legendary era often associated with early Iranian mythic history. Sometimes placed symbolically around the first millennium BCE, King Kavus made a catastrophic mistake. He invaded the land of demons and got captured. So the entire Persian army was trapped. The king was trapped. And the kingdom had exactly one option: send Rostam. To rescue the king, Rostam had to complete what became known as the 7 labours, and these were brutal. First labour, a lion attack in the desert. Second labour, a supernatural desert drought nearly kills him. Third labour, a dragon ambushes him at night. Fourth labour, a powerful sorceress tries to trick him. Fifth labour, an entire army attacks him. Sixth labour, he defeats a monstrous guardian. And the final challenge? The white demon. The creature guarding the captured king was the terrifying Divasapid, a monster described as gigantic, powerful, and nearly impossible to kill. But Rostam fights it anyway. The battle is brutal. According to the Shahnameh, Rostam finally defeats the demon by tearing out its heart. Then he does something even stranger. He uses the demon's blood to restore the sight of the blinded king. And with that, the king is saved. The kingdom survives, and Rostam's reputation explodes across Persia. But the most famous moment of his life was still coming, and it would destroy him. During one journey, Rostam arrives in the kingdom of Samangan. There he meets a princess named Tamina. She already knows exactly who he is. The legendary hero, the undefeated warrior. That night, they marry. But the next morning, Rostam leaves. Before departing, he gives Tamina a jewel, telling her that if she has a daughter, she should keep it. If she has a son, give the jewel to him. That son will find his father one day, and that son would become one of the greatest warriors alive. His name? Sohrab. Years pass. Sohrab grows into a warrior just as powerful as Rostam. But here's the problem. He never meets his father. Meanwhile, political tension explodes between Persia and its rival empire, Turan. Sohrab joins the Turanian army. Rostam fights for Persia. And neither of them realizes what's about to happen. 2 of the greatest warriors alive are marching toward the same battlefield. Eventually, the armies agree to settle the conflict with a single duel, one champion from each side. Persia chooses Rostam. Turan chooses Sohrab. Neither recognizes the other. Sohrab actually asks Rostam a question before the fight. "Are you Rostam?" But Rostam hides his identity. The battle begins, and it lasts 2 days. On the first day, Sohrab nearly kills Rostam. On the second day, Rostam uses a trick and lands a fatal blow. Sohrab collapses, dying. And only then does he reveal the jewel his mother gave him, the jewel Rostam himself had given years earlier. Rostam finally understands. He didn't just defeat his enemy, he killed his own son. Rostam panics. He begs for medicine. He tries to save him, but it's too late. Sohrab dies in his arms. This moment became one of the most famous tragedies in world literature. It appears in Persian storytelling for over 1,000 years and inspired countless retellings, including the 19th century poem Sohrab and Rostam, written in 1853. Even today, the duel between Rostam and Sohrab is considered one of the greatest tragic scenes ever written. But Rostam's life wasn't over yet. Rostam continued defending Persia for years. He served kings, won wars, defeated enemies. But in the end, he didn't fall to a monster, or an army, or a demon. He fell to betrayal. His half-brother Shaghad secretly hated him, so Shaghad dug a hidden pit filled with spears and lured Rostam into it. Rostam and his horse Raksh fell in, impaled, dying. But even at the end, Rostam made one final shot. He fired an arrow that pierced a tree and killed Shaghad hiding behind it. One final victory. Then the greatest warrior of Persian legend died. So think about this. A warrior who fought dragons, defeated demons, saved kings, won impossible battles. But his most famous moment was a tragedy caused by one mistake. That single duel between Rostam and Sohrab is still remembered more than 1,000 years later. Which raises a wild question. Was Rostam the greatest hero in Persian mythology, or the most tragic? And if you want to see more unbelievable legends like this, from gods, warriors, and ancient empires, hit subscribe, because the next story might be even crazier than this one. And trust me, some of them get way darker.